Okay, this is a new video. I had a phone call that interrupted it. Lakeshore and Bridget. All right. Look, somebody doing an assignment. A woman wearing a red shirt, a red car with brights, a red truck with brights. The assignments are really starting to heat up down here. The assignments are really starting to heat up down here. Okay, all right. The lights on in the daytime outside the theater. Could that be a part of a brightening technique? Perhaps the owners of the theater or somebody whose job it was for the lights, so to speak, were they asked to turn these lights on? Look, because there's a truck with the brights on, 2 red trucks, and an orange and white truck, or orange and white pavement, pavement machinery, and the lights on. So you see 2 red, and then the lights, the brights. This is a weak assignment if it is an assignment. If it is an assignment, it's a very weak one. It's not very descriptive. There's not enough pattern there. It's not really it's not something I'd want to stand on for a course necessarily, but this is the type of stuff you see. Brights, and then there's a brights right there. Okay, black and red. Good afternoon.
Hi.
Hi. Good afternoon.
Hi there.
Look, he has a trash can, and he's wearing all black. Now, that's a mimicking technique right there, because I was talking about trash people, and he's wearing all black with a trash can. Something about that, something strange. These weird people were following me, and I was saying they were trash. Now he's out there with a trash can. I just went through the brightening, the color coding. Brights. Alright. Now they were doing an assignment. That young lady was looking at her phone because she was being told on an app where to go to do the assignment. She doesn't know me, she didn't know where I was. And she might not even know what gang stalking is. But nevertheless, she was doing an assignment. The brightening. With the car. That's a nice car right there. Look at that. Sounds like it needs a tune-up though. Now look at that. Brightening. 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 See, the people who do the assignments they see me with the camera, and they don't want to, if they know they're doing an assignment, they don't want the camera to witness it. They only want me to witness it, because they're thinking, well, if he witnesses it and he tells anybody, he's not going to do too much, but if I'm on camera, that might mean something. Now the lights, lights. Lights. Okay. The lights. Look, the school bus. The school bus is what I get most active into. Look, there's a red car right here. A school bus. These are public transportational vehicles participating in the assignments. That gets me excited right there. Paramedics, police officers, those are public transportational vehicles. And so it kind of gets you excited a little bit to see one of them participating in the assignment. Those are the people that I want to connect with the most. Those are the people. Those are the people. Those are the people of influence more in society, and for them to know what organized harassment is, it might do them a lot of good. It might help them to explain things a little more clearly about what's going on around them. We're gonna run across the street and we're gonna film this. I don't want to be walking all day down towards the lake, so what I'm gonna do, I don't know, it feels pretty good down there though. It does feel pretty good down there. So we might actually go down there, or we might not. I'm trying to decide in this moment. If I go down towards the lake, it's going to be a really long walk, but it's beautiful down there. It's really beautiful down there. I'm going to go down there. Who knows who I'm going to meet? Then after this, we're going to go over into another city that's close to this city. We're going to go over into a city known as Muskegon Heights and see if we can find a lot of my relatives and friends and people I grew up with from some degree or another. Some of these people I went to elementary school with, some of these people know me very well. They may be more apt to speak a little bit about the assignments. They may tell me a little bit more. Now, the thing I like about Muskegon Heights is I can talk to these individuals in depth. I can tell them, have you seen strange people following me around? They, you know, for all I know, they could be people who might be informants, who will inform on you. I know these are 6 strange people who've been harassing me. They may be playing some sort of harassment scam on you. What do you know about it? And it may startle them and alert them. Now, in reality, they're not informants. All they're doing is following me to harass me. But if I say informant, if somebody is smoking marijuana or something like that, and they don't have a card for it, they're going to want to know about it to some degree or another. So they may be more apt to tell me for their own safety. That's how you network with people. People, for all I know, they could, who knows what these weird people are into. I know for a fact they're not informants, they're just there to harass people, but you never know. Good afternoon.
Hi.
Hey, how you doing?
Good.
So, for all I know, they're just it's a harassment campaign. And the more information I have about the strategies of the harassment, the better off I am to educate people with my courses. Okay, so we're seeing a lot of activity down here. Orange, some sort of industrial earth dirt machine, a Michigan dirt machine. I don't know what the classification would be on that. Now, Windward Point, so that might just be by chance. That doesn't have to necessarily be an assignment. I don't know. I don't see any coding with it. Show me the coding. You see how that girl driving the car looked at me, and the man was looking at his. Have you caught that on camera? The man was looking at his phone. That's indicative of an assignment. Now, an older guy driving the red truck, you could tell he really didn't want to do it. The older guys are the ones I'm a little bit more, it's sort of kind of interesting when you get the older guys doing it. those are the ones I'm usually the most respectful to, and I don't like for those individuals, you know, sometimes they might not know why they're doing the assignment, or they've been told a lie, and the least thing I want somebody to do is feel like they're in some sort of danger, perhaps, or feel like, you know, make them feel like something negative could arise out of this. That's all been a part of my courses from the jump, is to keep an optimistic attitude, and you get more bees with honey. If you're courteous to individuals, it'll take you a long ways through life. Okay. I think a lot of people are mistaken by my character. After I was greatly distracted, I had some character damage done to me in the local area, and I think a lot of people are fooled about who I am and the good work that I do. I think a lot of people are fooled by that. But most of these people don't know me at all. But for the ones who, okay, now look. Okay, lights, brights, nothing special. Man, the more I walk down here, the colder it gets. I don't know if I want to go so deep into this. That was strange. A white male with a white female, and the white female was driving by, and she was looking at me, and I could tell it was some sort of strange assignment. She didn't look really sure of what was happening or why she was doing it. It doesn't look like she was necessarily told any disinformation. It looks more like she was just asked to do this, asked to perform. Now look, the older gentleman with the lights on. Hello. He was a real older gentleman. He used to be maybe perhaps in his early 90s or something, or really. That was a mimic. That was a mimic being done to me. Okay, so it's getting colder and colder and colder as I proceed. Okay. Now you got to take into account this is Michigan in November, so it is. A red car driving by. Okay. All right. Now you see that man on the bicycle. He's been tailing me off and on. He's affiliated with, see the brights on the car, he's affiliated with some sort of harassment network in some way. He has a handler who's telling him to do these things. So that's why I always keep a mental note, perhaps on a cell phone, or some sort of text message or something, or it could be word of mouth. They're showing him. He may be familiar with hand signals he may be being given to do the assignments. Hand signals are a big part of this. These individuals aren't too skilled at this activity. What they're doing is very loose associations of what groups like the Central Intelligence Agency in the Cold War would do similar activity overseas many, many years ago, but they were highly skilled, highly trained agents. Everything from shoelaces to the color on their tie meant something. Magazine articles would be published, and they would decipher the meanings in the articles, and they would go out and convey their assignment through advertisement and whatnot. It was a highly sophisticated network. These people are imitating on a very low level what highly skilled trade agents were doing many decades ago. They're not that good at it. I've been watching over the last 10 years. I've looked into really professional, highly trained card-carrying members or deep cover agents in the CIA. I have an eye to observe their activity. I've seen a lot of their operations in the past, and I know when covert activity is going down. The individuals perpetuating the harassment campaign are not that swift with it. They're not that covert. They've never had any official training, especially at a place like Langley. In all probability, they make a lot of mistakes. So, you know, they're kind of like C-list celebrities compared to the big dogs. You know, you got like Robert De Niro and Samuel L. Jackson and big actors in Hollywood. These guys are like the C-list celebrities trying to imitate what the predecessors, what the real guys were doing many years ago. Okay. See, now he's coming back. I'm gonna offer him a cigarette. You need a cigarette? I offered him a cigarette. That's a good way to have a communication line going. He looks like he smokes. So he kept going. I guess he doesn't want a cigarette. Black, red. Ah, it's getting cold. Perhaps I might start jogging out here just to enter a new location more quickly. Okay, so you got the red on the car. This place is it open in November? Who wants an ice cream cone in November? No, it's not open. Alright, look, man, driving by the brightening techniques. Okay, we're gonna, after my stint in jail, I've lost a few pounds, and we're gonna try to utilize that weight loss and get to where we gotta get quicker. Look, what's this? Country club, perhaps. Skating country club. Beautiful, sounds like a beautiful place. I've been back there once before. It is a beautiful place. Now, look, the brightening, illumination coming in. Now look, red car, brights. Right. Right, coming in. Right's coming in. All right, look. I'm gonna walk a little bit, catch my breath, and start running again. Right. See? The brights. Okay, so all in all, brights. Okay, now look at this moment of peace right here. It's like in a movie, an interlude or whatever they say. Intermission. This is a brief intermission right here. Now, if you find yourself being hit with organized, look, a color-coded assignment across the water. Across the trees and stuff, near the water. Look. Guy way over there. I don't know if you can see him on camera. Okay, so when you're going through this, especially if you're being hit really hard with assignments, a quick intermission puts your mind at a little bit more peace. Gives you a moment of clarity to think. I was just being followed by a lot of bright lights and people wearing black and red. And now I'm not. The really tricky part is where it gets psychological and you have more meaning with the people. For somebody, would they have a grandparent out here following them, or perhaps, somebody who has adult children? What if they had one of their own adult children out here following them, or a wife, or a husband, or a boyfriend, or a girlfriend, or a stepbrother, or a stepsister? Depending on the individual, it varies. So if you have a coworker, a boss, then your emotional reactions and your feelings get more involved in the harassment that's happening. And when it does happen, it feels more intense. It brings out a certain intensity to the assignments. And when you got a lot of assignments hitting you with deep emotions, and it may not even be the people doing the assignments. These assignments might be reminders of it. So if you catch somebody in a situation where they're deeply disturbed by an activity, emotionally, psychologically, spiritually, it's going to create a really, really off-the-wall situation for that individual's mind. Oh, she was pretty. Do you see her? That looked just like the girl I was watching last night on the internet. That was a mimicking thing. She looked just like the girl that was getting gang stalked in Texas. There was a girl getting gang stalked by strange, sick people in Texas, and look, red, black, white, and so they just mimicked that woman back to me. No, she's not in Michigan driving around, but they went and found an individual who can remind me of them. They're probing. Why would I have any, there's a lot of attractive women out there, but why the hell would some woman on the internet be a distraction? I don't really see why that would happen. So they're trying to figure out a way to use an individual to create some sort of further agitation and harassment. How fascinating. How fascinating. Look, Laurel Canyon, the 60s, the hippie. Look, see? Earlier I was talking about Laurel Canyon and the hippies when we were going by the hills. The audio and the visual on my phone is being picked up by people who are trying to orchestrate harassment and crimes against me. A FedEx truck with lights on, and they're utilizing the information to further their criminal agenda, to harass me. Okay. See what lights? So they're looking for a harassment individual they can use to cause some sort of distress or some sort of fear or some sort of motivation, something strange. They're looking for something they can use to cause distress. That's the definition of the stalking. just making an individual feel distressed. Look, an older gentleman. Walking down the street. Older man, that looked like the same guy that was driving that bike a little bit, but it wasn't him, but he was driving the car. Older couple. Okay, now look, there's stores down here. This is some sort of convenience store, or kind of like a mom and pop store. Down here, there's the boats. The boat launches. It's really fascinating when you get into the psychology of somebody going through orchestrated harassment. The things that would seem the most distractive are the things that it takes more energy to put through in a course, because I have to be a lot more descriptive and get more detail. Something about an individual being mimicked for whatever purpose, that's a little bit more of an adventure to show people than it would be the color coding or the brightening, but yet it's the most exciting aspect of it, because it involves a lot of illusion and have you whatnot. They know that I know that that's not the same woman, but yet they've asked somebody who I was watching on YouTube to fit a similar description to do the assignment. The girl would have no idea, most likely, who I was or who that woman was. She just knows she was to drive by me. Okay. So there used to be a time in my life where I would have individuals. That girl, she had nice hair. Look at her. There would be a nice time in my life. There'd be a time in my life where they would have certain individuals repeatedly following me and harassing me. Now, what that does to you is it puts you in a position to where you're feeling very agitated and harassed. You know that there's a criminal network at play against you, who are using these individuals to harass you, and you're having difficulty explaining what's happening to other people. And you may find yourself wanting to communicate with one of these individuals, or there's some sort of emotional thing going on with the individual, and that's kind of where they use the most distraction, and they're hoping they can use it in a way to cause some sort of devastation to your day, or to your week, or to your year, or if possible to your entire life. Okay, that was a brightening technique. So you're constantly being shown the black, the red, and the two blocks. Is that an assignment? So you're constantly being shown things. You're constantly being shown things, and now I'm walking through the area and nobody is following me on foot. But there's color coding, there's the brightening, there's a little bit of the mimicking. There's individuals like that man driving by. I assume he was picked to play some sort of role with an incident in which I was arrested and jailed for things I did not do. And I think that man was trying to participate as a role player to remind me of that incident to cause further distraction in my life. Okay, so we're down here That's a nice bike. Look at the brights on the cars. This man maybe the junkie girl, or not the junkie girl, the girl. That guy was funny. A woman who was a friend of mine at one point in my life. She was a casual drug user of a serious narcotic, and she was a little bit out of it in her own life, in her own day-to-day things, and I learned a lot from watching her phone and listening to things that she was telling me, and it taught me about how these assignments work to a great deal. And her hair, I commented in a YouTube channel I used to have a video about how her hair was orange, and so there's a lot of orange at play here. Isn't that cool? Like a little book thing. That's interesting, fascinating. Okay, so brightening technique still going. Okay, so now we've been rolling for 31 minutes and seconds. You see how the harassment campaign against me, the attempts to stalk and harass me have not ceased. Constantly new individuals are financed or bribed or just paid over, you know, maybe they think they're doing something good or patriotic or a religious thing, or they may be confused as exactly what they're doing. They may be a part of, you know, they may be a grown man or woman thinking they're a witch or something. You get all kinds of crazy stuff going on. No, lights, assignment, lights, more lights, assignments, one light on this one. One light on this one. Now there's a police car. It did not have its brights on. I did not see. It may have had its brights on. It was coming from the other side. Okay. So it is getting colder and colder and colder. It's getting colder and colder. My hands are getting colder. All right, so now we're about to get down to the lake, and I'm gonna hurry up and see what I can see, and the darkness may be approaching, and so we're gonna go back into some other interesting areas and see what more. Look, an older car. Look, that's a beautiful car. Wow, that's a nice car right there. It's a muscle car. That's a muscle car. I love these older cars. Beautiful car, older muscle car. All right. The red car with the brights are the parking lot. An assignment. So you see the assignments from the beginning, from the individuals riding the bicycles with the machinery. It began there, or it was already going from the moment I left my house. It never stopped. You know, it's never stopped in the last 2 years. But when I began earlier filming, it began down by the trail, down by the YMCA, and it has yet to cease. The older man, older gentleman. The woman had sunglasses on. Why would a woman have sunglasses on is interesting. Either it's an attempt to conceal her identity, or it's an attempt to, in fact, maybe look like intimidating, as if she's from some sort of official agency. Anybody who was dressed like that, wearing their hair like that, would not be working for an official agency. So it just didn't make sense. Okay, it was just a gang stalker. We're down here, we're walking, and a bright, you see them, they cut them on in real time. I knew that was for me. Maybe at the last second the assignment told them what to do. Now when I say assignment, there's not people, it's not the 1950s, there's not people running around talking to people in person. This is coming through the phones. This is coming through Facebook, through other apps, other things. They're being contacted to do this stuff, and there's some sort of grid, some sort of perhaps satellite work at play here that is keeping an eye on where I'm going. It's an interface being used, and where I'm going, the other individuals around me are being contacted through their technology, which the satellite system is already aware of. And it's being utilized for an harassment campaign, some sort of agenda. Okay, so beautiful Corvette, wow. Okay, so it's not some spooky otherworldly thing happening. There's technology working. We're in 2017. Okay, it's a white car. All right. Okay, lights. So this stuff can go away at the will. And there's somebody out there who, look, a man wearing a red hat, I mean a red coat with a black dog. A woman on assignment. Good afternoon, sir. Hi. How you doing? Good. See, that's all part of the strategy. Be upstanding and charitable and kind, and offer individuals advice or perhaps a cigarette, anything, and then maybe they might be able to tell me something about the it's getting cold. So the individuals behind these networks are aware of my whereabouts. The individuals who are doing the assignments are not aware, unless perhaps they know where I am because they're listening to me or watching me in some way. But individuals who are doing the assignments are only told where to go to do the assignments, not to where I am at all times, which I'm thankful of, because there's some strange, sick people out there who do not know where I am at all times. Okay, and we're down here at the lake. Now, the thing about the satellites is, and all this stuff, they can tone it up or tone it down. They can change the harassment. It's computer programmed, so individuals are alerted on what colors to wear, what to do, what's going on, what to do in real time, and they pull their assignments out through the computer systems, the apps, through the phone, sometimes word of mouth, perhaps, if it has to be a little bit more intimate. They might put a little handler out there to tell them a little bit more key information on things to do. But in general, it's communicated through the computer systems. And so the people behind the computer systems, or the people who are telling the computer systems what to do, are aware of what should agitate me, because they're surveillancing me and they're a part of the criminal network harassing me. Okay. Now we're down at the beach. And now these satellite systems can go up. Your harassment can go up. They can actually push it up. They can push it down, depending on individuals, what they want. I have a little bit more insight into that I think it's a threat level. With me, I didn't get stalked by chance. I didn't wake up one day being stalked and harassed. It was pertaining to a lot of old research I used to do, so I'm a lot more aware of things that have transpired and things that have happened that the public just doesn't need to know about. But we're down here and we're having a good time, enjoying ourselves, and the satellites are aware that I'm at the beach, and the people using the satellites use it just like a cable company uses. Cable companies use satellites, the Chinese use the satellites, the Russians use the satellites, Nike uses the satellites, Verizon uses them, so anybody can use them. Even a harassment campaign. If you got 20 million, the Russians will put you in space. Well, if you got 20 million, you damn sure can harass a bunch of individuals and have grown adults running around wearing red and black doing strange things. Okay. Now we're down here enjoying ourselves. One of the things they'll do is they'll try to have old distractions. One of the things that was really cool to me is the operators behind these systems from time to time will put little things in there that I long forgot about. It'll be events or people or things, and it'll be mimicked back to me in strange ways. So it's kind of exciting. They got like a bag of tricks, so to speak, to pull out at any given moment. I don't know how I went so long not getting gang stalked. That's the really strange part about it. Most people get gang stalked for no reason. Some people only do a little bit of conspiracy research. I was very intimately involved. There used to be a time in my life to where I was deeply involved in it, and I get the strange feeling that they did not want anybody to know what my research was about or who I was or what I was doing. I think the gang stalking was a last effort to really distract me and throw me off. Therefore, a lot of individuals had to know that I was, what my research, there's a lot of stuff that I never presented on YouTube that I know about, and there's people out, there's people out there that know I know, and they're not happy about it, but I think in one sense or another, they were very interested in what I might find through my research, and so they were watching me from a distance to see what I might uncover. That's the interesting part. I was on SSI, and still am. How can they? My research was being financed.